Okay, in this video, I'm going to see how ChatGPT performs when I'm asking it to create a lesson plan. I went to the Wisconsin State Standards, and this is for social studies because all students take social studies. And this is for grades 3 through 5. And the standard is investigate how the cost of things changes over time. So I'm going to just copy that and I'm going to go back to my ChatGPT. And I tried this before using search and it wasn't able to come up with a lesson plan. And it was going to give me its own lesson plan and it stalled out. So I'm going to hit stop generating there and I'm going to create a lesson plan. There we go. And this time I'm not turning on search on the web. I deleted that video because I know it didn't work. So I'm going to do this. Okay. For fifth graders, investigate how the cost of things changes over time. So let's see what we get. So I'll start with a new chat and I will paste this back in and hit go. There we go. Now we've got something happening. Fifth grade. Okay. All right, so we're going to send them to the internet and we're going to do a look at cost comparison charts. Okay. That's telling me the activity. Nice, okay. I'm just asking students to share their findings with the class, compare and contrast the prices over time, provide pictures or physical examples of the items from the past. Oh, so old rotary phone record players on. Interesting. Closure. Wrap up the lesson by having students reflect on what they've learned, the changing costs. Here's our assessment. Interesting. Okay, so we have here objective. Students will investigate how the cost of goods and services change over time by analyzing and comparing the prices of various costs from past and present. That's not an objective, so that doesn't tell us what change we would like to see or what outcomes we would like to see. This only tells us the action, what the students will be doing, but it doesn't tell us how to, what they should be, what learning gains we should see. So then it tells us we've got paper, our materials. So yeah, that objective would need to be rewritten. Then we've got the procedure, tells us how to open the lesson, asks students if they've noticed that costs have changed, if they know why the costs of these things change over time. I've got the first activity is dividing the students up in groups and put them on the internet to research, the cost of different things and compare the prices such as 10, 20, or 50 years ago. Then share their findings with the class and discuss how costs have changed. And here, to help students further understand how the cost of things has changed over time, provide pictures or physical examples of items from the past, such as old rotary phones, a record player, or an old TV. So this, I think, is a little bit problematic, and I think it would confuse things because these are examples. So the phone, the record player, and the TV, those are examples of things that have been tremendously modified over time. I would think something like a loaf of bread, a dozen eggs, things that have remained, where the product has actually remained consistent over time, and then they're evaluating the change of the cost, or the cost change over time. But I see here too that they're discuss with the class why the prices have changed and what factors might have contributed to the changes in the cost. Now, I think that's going to confuse the problem or confuse the issue by having this, they're discussing changes in the rotary phone, record player, and the TV. They're going to come up with how those devices have changed over time as the reason why why the cost has changed. And that completely omits economics and the economics of prices changing. So that deviates there. And yeah, so I think this is really problematic, and would not be at all helpful if this was a lesson that especially a new teacher, who's running behind, uses the one-click lesson plan, throws this together, and then they realize, oh, this isn't talking about economics. Because that's the thing. If you're plugging in just a phrase of what the lesson plan should be, that negates the context of what the topic needs to connect to. So this isn't just about this lesson plan shouldn't just be about why the price of products change over time. This should be within the framework of micro and macroeconomics. Students need to be able to discuss and explain how the price of items change over time. And that's a completely different lesson than what we got here. But it's interesting, though.